Okie doke, let's do a little garden tour. This was like a mix of different broccolis, I think. There might be a cauliflower or two in there too. So they're coming along. Some of them got hit pretty bad by a frost. Didn't expect that frost to really hit them so hard, but it did. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they were really small when it hit. This right here is a bed of spinach that's just now coming up. Down at the end down there is garlic. Kohlrabi, looking pretty good. Not a bad looking kohlrabi down in there. Like, you need to kind of get a little larger on the bottom. But you can see how we're missing a few here and there because we hit the farmer's market. And I've already sold a few that kind of headed up bigger or swooped up bigger than the other ones. This is some purple cabbage, I believe. This is more kohlrabi. These are like, you know, this was the first planting. This is the second planting here. So they're kind of... That's some Chinese cabbage. More kohlrabi. This right here is just straight up cabbage, just regular hitting cabbage. More spinach. That spinach was planted a little before that third row over there. This was planted maybe a week and a half before. So it's a little bigger and we're getting good sunny weather. So hopefully that spinach will take off. Some parsley. And some... white chard, some turnips. Pretty good little batch of turnips here going. That's some more broccoli over there. There's some onions. I had some onions that started sprouting from last year that I saved, some smaller ones. And I just kind of stuck them in between stuff here and there. That's bok choy or pak choy. We'll walk over here. There's the little greenhouse. It's just some dill and some kales that I had nowhere to put them at the time, and this is just starts. You know, see my onions back there, and some leftover stuff like some basil I've been trying to keep alive for cooking and stuff. This is for stuff around the house. A couple of tomatoes still going in there. So it's in some peppers. I mean, there's some pretty good sized peppers in there that are still on the vine. You know, they get in here and get a good look at them. There's one back in there, you see. He ain't bad. We had fajitas last night. Had a good old bell pepper out of here. And got some cilantro, and you know, there's some more chard and some more. That right there might be well, it says Michelini cabbage, which is the Chinese cabbage that I showed you a while ago. There's more over here. It's turnip greens. I mean mustard greens. It's actually called spinach mustard. It's supposed to be a mild type of mustard. Brussels sprouts. There's a damn parsley back there that's been looking sickly, but maybe it'll take off. And then there's some purple cabbage back there, and maybe a kohlrabi. I think that's a kohlrabi right there on the end. My kohlrabi got mixed in. My purple kohlrabi got mixed in with my purple cabbage, and it's just kind of sprinkled everywhere. You know, there's a little bit of this. Got some dill here, some cilantro. This right here, I'm not going to uncover it. It's broccoli. There might be a few cauliflowers in there too, now that I think about it. This is all cauliflower. My rain jugs. If you make a siphon out of a piece of pipe like this, I just heated it with a heat gun and bent it. And if you get that pipe full of water, you can fill it with a water hose and just stick it in. If you fill both barrels, fill that hose with water, or this line with water. Hold your fingers over both ends, stick it like this, upside down, and then stick it in the water real quick. It will keep a siphon. So when this one fills, this one fills. When this one gets low, this one gets low. And they'll move at the same time. Meanwhile, this one's only catching water off my carport, off the corner of the carport right here. Same with those. That's the same system right there. And then this one over here is catching it off my little shop here that I keep my tiller and crap in. That one catches the water and then has a faucet. So I can actually hook a hose onto it and kind of drip irrigate these raised beds over here, which comes in handy from time to time. There's the crap my kid didn't get to the trash can last night that is blowing across the yard. This is lettuce. That was supposed to be iceberg. But obviously it's not. But it's okay, because this is growing well. Apparently iceberg's kind of tough. This is all Brussels sprouts. I think there's one broccoli right there. And here's Mama Cat, bringing her fat ass over here, waddling over here. Carrots, Chinese cabbage down there, and a parsley, another parsley. These were parsleys, small little parsley plants that we would take to the farmer's market that didn't sell over the summer. It's pretty cold hardy, so I just put it in the ground. There's one that's still in a pot there, but these were in small pots. These are small little starts. It's purple cabbage. There's a broccoli there. Broccolis and purple cabbages and a few kales kind of mixed in. That's just a brassica mix. These are some pots that I had peas growing up my front porch here. I got to get something in those. Possibly even some of this right here. This is broccoli rabe. I was popping a few of these in here and there. This is broccoli or cauliflower, just kind of a mix. This was kind of an overflow kind of row here that was just catching stuff. I believe that's a kohlrabi right there, see? It was just kind of catching stuff. Chinese cabbage, bunch of Chinese cabbage here. Put new plastic on my little cheap greenhouse, and there's a honeybee in there. Hate to see that. I gotta make a door. Come on out there, honeybee. Don't wanna. Oh well. Can't do much with him. Anyway, let's go down here so we don't have the sun in our eyes. This one that's covered right here, that's beet starts that are about, it's two different kinds of beets. They're about that tall now. I have to keep them covered to keep the rabbits from eating them. I'll pull the stuff back here so you can see. It's a whole row of them. Maybe you can see down in there. You ought to be able to see down in there better than I can. I'll have to watch the video to see how they're doing, really. They're little beets. They need to be thin from the looks of this corner right here. That is romaine lettuce. I added some to it today. More bok choy, broccoli rabe, some more of that Chinese cabbage. This stuff grows really well here. I think it likes our climate, it likes our soil. It just does really good. This is cauliflower, broccoli. No, it might be cabbage. I didn't mark this stuff. Here's some kale. I'll probably be harvesting a little bit off of these. I got a few more over there. We got enough to take a bundle to the farmer's market. We do one market in December, and it's this Saturday, which is supposed to be like 75 degrees on December the 13th. So that's like really good because we're going to have quite a bit of stuff. It's 2 cauliflowers, more garlic, some carrots right here. Tiny starts. Maybe you can see them. They're teeny tiny. See them? This, you succession plant this stuff. Like these were my first carrots. I'm already pulling some of these. Took some of these last month to the market. I kind of thinned them and picked out some small ones, but they still sold because people wanted them for Thanksgiving. And they were, damn good carrots. This is my first batch. Here's number 2. And these are Parisian market, so they're the little round ones. There'll probably be some of these in this second planting that I can harvest because they grow a little quicker. Here's number 3. The ones in the front of the solar panel were number 4, and here's number 5 that I just showed you. So we have successions of carrots, so they'll come out and more come out and more come out. And I have more seeds. I'll probably get another planting going as they come out. Little radish, same with radishes. These radishes will come out. They honestly grow so fast you almost don't even have to succession plant them. You just pull them out and plant some more, and in a month you got another batch. This is kind of a catch-all spot. It caught a few red leaf lettuces that are trying to grow, and then it caught a little purple cabbage, maybe a kohlrabi, and it was a catch-all. This corner gets shady this time of the day, but that parsley right there likes it. But there's Russian kale and more kohlrabi. This end right here kind of caught everything. Some more chard, some white chard, some more kale. curly top kale, some more bok choy. This is my first planting of bok choy, was in this corner right here, and I've already sold a couple of these at the market. This is cauliflower, I believe, these 3 plants. Some kales in here, and then this is asparagus that's just, you know, doing its thing. I just leave it alone. I might cut it off. There's a big fat ass turnip right there. They're supposed to be little white egg turnips. They get the size of basically a chicken's egg, you know. That one is probably the size of a freaking softball. They right, Mama Kitty. Yeah, that's a fat son bitch. And it grew, I mean, it grew so fast. Because I was out here Thanksgiving, and I picked a few to roast with some other stuff, some butternut squash and stuff, and some large beets that I had. I had a few beets from the end of summer, and this and that, and I kind of mixed them all together and roasted them up. So I got in here and I picked my biggest beet, my biggest turnips, and there were a couple of decent sized ones, and that was Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, and today is, what is it, 8th, 9th of December? So less than 2 weeks later, and I swear that turnip has tripled in size. It's crazy. Well, you see the size of these others here. Some of these other ones are just little tiny. They're about the size of a chicken egg, you know? I don't know. That one's huge. This is cabbage. Cabbage out the ass. That's been planted for quite a while. I wish it would start heading up. It is some, but not really good. I believe that's another kohlrabi that got mixed in with some red Russian kale. And that red kale there is not very red. It's weird, but this is all broccoli of different kinds. Some purple broccoli and some regular broccoli. That's pretty much the whole garden, or all the gardens. I got my wood chips. I got me a couple of loads of them the other day, which come in handy. You know, you can see I've dressed them. These could actually have another round put on them, because after you put them on and they set for, say, 2 weeks, they kind of compress, and then you can put another round on them, and then you got it on there good. Look at this cat. What are you squawking at, Mama? Damn. It's my irrigation. I got faucets here. I keep buckets on them this time of year. There's my big compost pile back there on the edge of the woods. I turned it the other day. It had some okra stalks in it, some eggplant and stuff, a bunch of stalks in it. It was a big pain in the ass to turn it, but I finally got it turned. But I'm not going to turn it again until we get probably into February. I might give it one more turn before spring rolls in. I might be able to get a little out of it to put on some stuff in the spring early, but that's no big deal. This stuff's all been, it's all had compost put on it pretty heavily going into this fall. So it should be okay. And a lot of it is, like I mulched that with pine needles and just oak leaves that I rake up out of my woods back here. We got 2.5 acres. And a lot of it is just forest back here. It's really thick pines and oaks. So I have so many leaves. I just go back there with a wheelbarrow and a rake and a pitchfork and just get after it, man. I can find mulch for days. I could build a compost pile 3 times that big if I really, really tackled all the leaves around here. I really could. I mean, look at all the freaking leaves in my backyard right now. Anyway, that's the garden. Old mama cat follows me around like always. I got other cats. They're lazy. They don't do nothing. There's one right there. But mama cat, she's my shadow. If she sees me out here, I could be working in the garden or just walking around watering stuff or whatever. She's right beside me the whole time, wanting to scratch.